start officially.
Great.
Welcome to the podcast, Sandriina.
Thank you.
That's a very cool name, Sandriina.
Thank you. It's actually my middle name, and it was my Oma's name.
What does it mean?
I don't know what it means, but I think it's like Sandra, but more cute.
Yeah, it sounds Italian in a way.
Yeah, it's not Italian. It's Dutch.
It's Dutch.
Yeah, my family background is from the Netherlands, so that's where I get my name. But yeah, I don't know what it means. I should probably find out.
If someone knows, let us know what it means. Yeah, welcome to the podcast. You came just fresh to Berlin.
Yes.
And you came from Australia.
Yep.
To a musical journey of being a music producer in the big city, trying to make it happen, and to grab some attention, to grab some money, to grab some views.
That is very accurate. I couldn't have said it better. That is what it feels like, yeah.
Yeah, and what we heard now is something that you're working on currently.
Yeah, it's very much in a demo stage, but I wanted to share it to begin with because I do feel like it's really indicative of the direction my music is going, and how I'm honing in on like more of a production-oriented, hyper-pop, like overproduced, saturated kind of vibe, very synthetic sounds, like very electronic. That's the direction I'm being called in right now. And yeah, even though that one's definitely not finished, not perfect, I feel like I needed to showcase it at the beginning. Like, yeah,
Get it out of the system.
Get it out of the system, sure. Yeah, just be like, this is where she's going. For people who might not know me as well, like, yeah, I want to showcase like what I'm excited about right now rather than what I've already done. Yeah.
Yeah, it's also a great attitude. I learned it from Dr. Dre. He said that when I finish a song, I just finish it. I get it out and I never listen to it again.
Yeah.
You have the same vibe towards music?
Kind of. I mean, definitely I always feel like once I've released a song, I kind of hate it. And like, well, it's not true, but like, for instance, my last release, Bonky Bonk, like I put that out because people were asking me to put it out. And like I was playing it at my live shows, and people loved it. And I just at no point was convinced of it. But yeah, it's like, I'm glad it's out now because now it's out. People who enjoyed it can enjoy it and I can move on to the other things. It's always like, I'm always as good as the thing that I'm currently working on. The things that I've released previously don't define me, is the attitude.
Yeah, it's a great statement. I like it. I agree with that. I think music is mostly about producing and not about being emotionally connected so much to the song that we don't feel so comfortable even releasing it.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's such a easy trap to fall into. I think a lot of people do, where they just never release anything because they think it's not good enough.
Yeah.
And you never move on if you never release things. Yeah.
And you can be the best singer, but if you have nothing to showcase, no one knows about you.
Exactly. Yep. Amen.
Yeah. You're also very young. What is your age, if you want to share?
Yeah, I'm 24, which is kind of young.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still like, you know.
You can also take it backwards, the mic stand. You can adjust it.
Okay.
So it will be comfy for you.
That's better. All right. Cool. Yeah. So I'm 24. So I definitely feel like I have aged faster than some other people. Yeah, I don't necessarily, I've never really connected with other people in my age group. Like I'm always hanging out with 30-year-olds.
I think that women are getting more mentally smarter, faster than males, than guys.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
I remember as well as being a teenager and in my 20s, the girls would love to spend time with older people because us boys in this age, we were just stupid boys.
Yeah, it's true. Sorry. But it's really...
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It's the reality of life.
I do feel like even like grown-ass men that I interact with are, you know, a couple years behind me sometimes. Yeah, in terms of maturity level. I think just the challenges you encounter as a woman are really different. Like, yeah.
Like what?
Oh, well, you're taught to be very self-conscious from an early age. You're taught to be very self-aware and like have a lot of self-restraint, I think, which, you know, I think just accelerates the maturity process because you're constantly assessing your own behavior. And I think like for men, it takes a while to develop that lens. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things. Yeah.
I think also because women are the ones who carry the child in the end. So it's kind of the woman's responsibility when she's get pregnant, right? Because the man, if it's ethical or not, he can just go away. So women need to be way more accurate with their choices.
Right, I see what you're saying.
And it's something that is so primitive in us that we also we reflect it to other things in life. And I think this is why women get matured way faster than boys.
I mean, yeah, I suppose that could be a factor, but for me, I think it would have less to do with biology personally. Like, I think it's more of I take more of the social approach in general to like understanding the differences between men and women and other people.
But it's also biological.
Yeah,
you know,
you think?
Yeah, when your brain is being marinated with the estrogen or testosterone, it's completely different behavior.
For sure, but I think like if we think about like maturity, I'd say that women are forced to mature faster
because of
society. Yeah, and maybe in part there's a biological aspect. Who knows?
What do you think about society?
Broad question.
Yeah, like except what you already said. What do you think that is like something specific that this is something that forces women to mature earlier?
Yeah, I think it's just like I said, like women are taught to be more self-conscious and more self-aware, and I think they have less freedom to kind of go crazy and go wild from a younger age. Like, it's partly a gender role thing. Like, I think, you know, women model after other women, so that cycle can kind of build on itself. And, you know, women who show restraint to younger women who pick up that skill and like they model for each other. But I just say it's more like a self-awareness thing. I don't know. It's quite a layered topic. But I can talk from my own personal experience as someone who's a woman. Like, I definitely say that I was always trying to fit in, and that always made me hold back a little bit in my self-expression. And I noticed that the boys didn't necessarily have to do that. Yeah.
You have an example of your adult life, let's say maybe in music, where you feel that you don't express yourself fully because you need to hold yourself to satisfy the listeners?
In my adult life, I've let it go. I really don't care anymore. I just have thrown all things that I don't want to do out the window, especially in my creative pursuits. But definitely as a child and as a teenager, for instance, I when I got into music production, like I tried to force myself to be a singer because there weren't any girls who were producing music in my age group at 16. 16 is when I started. And the boys would like all gang up on me and be like, you know, oh, like you make, I don't know, I was making like ambient kind of stuff, I guess, like nothing crazy. It was like pretty shit what I was making, but like I was just starting. Like we're all shit when we just start. But there were like a couple of boys that were like just producing, they call it Melbourne Bounce. It's kind of a dead genre now, but it's like a branch of EDM that was really hot when I was a teenager. And they were producing things like minimal and stuff like that. And I had no interest in it. So I had no like allies. So I kind of put down music production and I would like try to force myself to be a singer for a bit. I mean, I still sing, but like it wasn't my main calling. But I definitely felt like, yeah, that's an example. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. What do you think about that life brings you those experiences in order to make you stronger and to give you some skills that you might need in the future?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think that you're constantly being presented with like a multitude of different life pathways, and you can kind of pick and choose sometimes which one you take. You sometimes have the agency, but often like the choices we've made unconsciously that have led us to these moments we haven't been aware of the entire time. Yeah. So there's not actually much choice in it at all. So yeah, I do feel like in a way the universe is giving you like in moments where you have like a real like awakening and realize that there's a choice in front of you. I feel like the universe has given you like a moment of clarity to be able to like reflect on how you got here and like where you can go, and you know, think about your life experiences in this like more detached and reflective way. Yeah.
Yeah, if you reflect, it's really good. Everyone should reflect, I believe. I don't like to say people should or should not, but reflection is something is very important.
Yeah.
Because often what we realize is what feels or looks good for us, that it will be good in the future, it's not really good for us maybe. And usually those experiences that are very bad for us in this moment, that we don't like, we don't enjoy, that feels very negative, they might have the biggest jump, you know. You can leverage those way more than you can leverage the positive. The positive usually they're being leveraged downwards, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because when everything is good, you don't really make any effort.
Yeah.
But when things are hard, you become stronger.
I agree. I definitely feel like being in Berlin is like presenting me with all of this growth because it's so hard. Yeah.
And you just arrived. It's only the beginning.
It's only well, I've been here a month now, but yeah, every day is like a new struggle.
What is exciting for you in the city?
Oh, everything's exciting. It's an exciting city.
Yes. You can do a lot here.
Like on my way here, I saw a woman carrying a dead raccoon.
A dead raccoon?
A dead raccoon.
A full body animal?
Full body animal.
How do you know it was dead?
Because it wasn't moving and it was frozen stiff. It was dead. And then she put it on the ground. Just this dead raccoon.
In the street?
In the street. And it's like, you know, a month in, I didn't even blink twice. I was it's like, oh, a dead raccoon.
Yeah, there's some really funny stories here in the city.
Oh my God.
Once I was in the U-Bahn, and you know, sometimes you have some artists to come and they play some music. Some of them are good, some of them are
not so good.
Yeah, some of them are a bit painful in the ear.
Yes.
But no one really pays attention most of the time.
Yeah, even if they're good. Yeah, it's true.
And I remember I was there driving somewhere, riding somewhere, taking the U-Bahn, and then I hear the Titanic song.
Oh, my heart will go on.
Yes, you know, you hear ta-da-da-da,
yes.
Ta-da-da-da, and you think, oh, no, not again. Who can sing it good? What the fuck?
Yeah.
But then I heard this angelic voice start to sing every night in my dream, and she was incredible. And then I looked to see who is singing, and I saw old woman, like 90 years old. It's something that you might see on The Voice to get a lot of rating.
Yeah, like who was that? Susan Boyle.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And it was incredible. And she also made a lot of money.
Oh,
I think
good
because
for her.
Of this contrast.
Yeah.
You can find some funky stuff here.
Berlin is so friggin' magical sometimes. Like, just the most raw expressions of like beauty and ugliness, just
In the
all
same time.
in the same time, all thrown into a bucket and mixed together. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you about
Yeah.
it. You can see it everywhere.
everywhere.
It's all mixed here. It's one of the most melting pots, I think, of the world, Berlin.
Yeah.
The biggest melting pots, yeah.
It is. I feel like it's not actually too far of a stretch from my hometown. I'm from Melbourne. Melbourne,
Is it the
Australia.
capital of Australia? No.
No, the capital is Canberra.
I thought it was Sydney.
Oh, how dare you?
I know there are kangaroos.
How dare you think it's Sydney?
I've never been there in Australia. For me, it's like
Yeah.
it's far away, also mentally.
It is far away physically as well. I mean, it's really quite bizarre, like that, you know, there are so many Australians here because we're part of the Anglosphere, but geographically we have no place. Like we're in Asia geographically.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And you also, like your grandparents somewhere were kind of prisoners in the UK, right? And then they got neglected to Australia and they started a new community. Or...
Yeah. Yeah, so you do know a little bit.
Yeah, but I don't know the capital.
Oh, well, now you do.
Now I know.
But yeah, like I think Melbourne has similar qualities that Berlin has. Like, it's got a similar kind of cultural prioritization. Like culture and art and music and this and that are really important in Melbourne, and like this, the state sponsors them as well. But I think the real difference is that here, there's like a heartbeat and there's so much diversity, and because it's actually Melbourne's population's bigger than Berlin's, but it doesn't feel like it because we're so spread out geographically. Like
you have big houses and you don't
big
build up.
houses, we don't build up. Like there are skyscrapers in the middle of the city, but it's skyscrapers and then residential for like 50 kilometers. So it's like a massive city, but it's all spread out. And in Berlin, it's just like everyone is kind of crammed into this like, yeah.
A melting pot.
And because like there's like a kind of, there's a grit here. I think people like, can I swear?
You can do whatever you want. There is no CEO.
Yeah, cool. People give less of a fuck here. Like, yeah, I don't know. Culturally, there are similarities, but like Berlin is like the enhanced version of Melbourne, and it's definitely very overwhelming and very challenging, but also so rewarding.
Yeah, if you manage to get through all this
if you manage to find an apartment and get Anmeldung.
Yeah, this is the first quest that you need to do.
This is the initiation. Yeah, I'm still completing my initiation.
Have Anmeldung, have a tax number
Oh
and
my God.
bank account.
Oh, it's so stressful. Yeah.
But it's worth it.
It's
Keep
worth
on going,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
The hope is there. I think it's all challenges. Like this is what lives bring us. Test if we are strong enough and if we really want what we say
If we really
want.
want it, yes.
It's like Super Mario, you know, you have the boss in the end of every level. And this is those challenges in life. If we don't go through that, we cannot go for the next level.
Yes, this is the Bowser.
And what is more interesting...
is Bowser.
It's evil than Bowser.
Yeah.
It's more evil. And what is more interesting is that the moment you decide that just to go and confront this challenge, it will be solved somehow.
Yeah.
If you're open to the possibilities.
Yeah. I think it's also for me about setting wheels in motion, like opportunity-wise. Like doing this little thing now might not pay off immediately, but it sets me up in the long run so that maybe I have a new opportunity in the long run. Like
how far away do you think in the future? When you plan your plans?
I don't plan, to be honest. I just think about like how certain things I might be doing pay off in the long run and not just the short term.
It's called planning.
Well, sure. I mean, I would say planning is more about like envisioning a future for yourself that's more specific and trying to work towards getting there. Like for me, I'm thinking more, I'm like just taking opportunities that are here at present and leveraging them in a way that's more strategic so I'm better off long term. I guess that's another form of planning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you do have some kind of future thinking because you take now some opportunities that you know in the future will
pay off. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily like, I'm future thinking in an obsessive way.
This is the best way. If you plan things...
I don't know if it's necessarily good.
If you plan things and you follow the plan, you're already 50% successful.
Yeah, although plans always go out the window eventually. Oh!
Ooh.
Okay, we're not there yet.
No, we talked about planning and the song jumped all of a sudden.
That was serendipitous.
Yeah, we will hear it later.
Yes. Cool.
Yeah, so we talked about that planning is already half of the winning.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Not really, to be honest. I think that it's more about strategy, and planning is just one component of strategy. I think if you invest all of your eggs into the plan basket, inevitably things change. Like when someone asks me the question, what is your life going to look like in 5 years? I can't, how do you answer that? Like,
you just imagine your most wild imagination that you want to live in.
Yeah, but that's more dreaming. Like if you're actually planning your life in 5 years, I mean, I think that you never actually get where you plan to go. You may get to a better place. If you'd asked me 5 years ago where I'd be, I definitely wouldn't say sitting on the floor of a guy's apartment in Berlin doing a podcast about my music.
Son of a pigeon.
Yeah, no, I would not say that. I would probably say something like, oh yeah, I'm going to be a diplomat or something like that.
Really, a diplomat?
Well, yeah,
You thought about being a diplomat?
Yeah,
it's the opposite of being creative.
Yeah, I was really into diplomacy. I lived in Indonesia.
To be ambassador of Australia?
Yeah, I wanted to be ambassador so bad.
Is it easy?
No.
To get this job? No. You need to know people and to have connections.
Well, you need to work your ass off. Which I was doing, actually. I think I was really committed to it. But then COVID happened and we had a terrible lockdown in Melbourne. It was like 120 days straight of lockdown or something.
It was really aggressive in Australia.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But it was actually a great experience for me because it shattered the illusion of like the kind of job, money, status, career, lifestyle that I was thinking about. Like I realized that I didn't really want to be, I didn't really fit in amongst the people who I was trying to fit in amongst. And music came back into my life. So I was always producing, I just never released. So I started releasing because of lockdown. So
cool.
And then I was like, no, I don't want to be a diplomat.
It's too straight. Even though you can be an artist as a diplomat as well. You can, if you're a real artist, no matter what you do in life, you will do it in an artistic way.
Yes, yeah. I mean, diplomats can be really cool. Don't get me wrong. I've met some cool diplomats. But also, I don't know if it's for me personally.
It's not your passion.
No, not at this stage. Yeah.
And how would you describe your approach towards productions? What is exciting you about producing music?
I mean, what's exciting about producing music for me, I think, as a whole, is that you have complete control. So I can design a soundscape exactly to create an exact sound. And it's not that I approach music production in that way. It's just that concept is intriguing to me as an artist, because as an artist, I have a message, and music production is like such a versatile medium for being able to express that message, because you have so much control. especially if you're like sound inclined, like I am. Like I love sound. Sounds trigger emotions in me. So it feels like a language in a way. So I'd say my overall approach to music production is like trying to create a like visceral, emotional or physical reaction in the listener. Something that is going to inspire them or make them feel like they have someone who's like holding their hand in life when it gets hard. I think the song you're about to hear, Kimchi Fried Rice, is like, it's off my EP that I released in March. It's very different to the song you heard in the intro, but it's like accessing that kind of nostalgia. It's like it got a nostalgic feeling. It's like got a solidarity in that song. Like everything's going to be okay in that sound, but it's like about heartbreak. And, you know, the tools I used producing that song are things like, vinyl crackle and like, I used a lot of like multi-band compression to make like a kind of boomy, warm bass. And I used a lot of like delay. I used the Valhalla Supermassive to like time shift stuff and warp it so it sounds like you're going back in time. And yeah, to create like a nostalgic feel for a past relationship. Yeah. So like, I don't know, that was a very long rambly answer, but it's like, you know, that's what it is. I love having total control over the way that a message can be captured. And I think there's so much beauty in the process of discovering the message as you produce. Like, yeah.
Yeah, the song reveals itself.
The song reveals itself while you're making it. Exactly.
Yeah, especially when there are more people that are involved in the process.
Yes. Yeah.
And then it just takes life of its own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shall we listen to it?
Sure.
Small Korean place next to my school.
How many times a week would you give it?
Probably every day, once a meal.
It was beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, every time I listen to that one, I'm just reminded of like how that song was constructed. It was a long process.
You also play guitar. It's something
Yeah,
to mention
I
here.
do, yeah.
Because you play really well guitar.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I love playing guitar. Yeah, I have a band back home called Damn Fine Chai, which I play guitar for. But yeah, so I play guitar on that track, and people always ask me like, "Oh, who played guitar on that?" And then when I say I did, they're always taken aback, and I think it's because it comes back to the gender thing.
They
like,
take it back. What do you mean?
they're taken aback, like they're surprised. Yeah, I think it often comes back to the gender thing. Like, you don't see many female guitarists that are as good as me, to be honest. Like, yeah, not that I'm the best, like by no means, but you know,
I think it's more if you're
yeah.
really good at your craft, then people sometimes don't believe that someone can be
Right.
so good because they did not manage to do it by themselves.
Right.
And if you also sing good and if you play guitar good and you produce that, it's like, wow, can you really do all of this?
Yeah.
I think maybe this is why they're surprised.
maybe. I hope that's why they're surprised.
Yeah, I really like this song.
Thank
What I
you.
really like about it, and this is really good for all the producers that are listening, there is always something happening.
It's a very chaotic song.
But it doesn't feel chaotic. It feels
Yeah.
like there's stuff that's happening all the time. So it gets my attention and I don't get bored.
Oh, that's good.
It's what it's supposed to be, right? This is a
Yeah.
good producer's job.
Thank you. I like to I like to think that I produce for Gen Z.
For whom?
Gen Z,
I don't know. I'm sorry.
like, you know, what is Gen Z these days? I guess it's like 15,
Oh, yeah, we talked about it before. Yeah, you told me about
15
it.
to like 26-year-olds, I guess.
Oh, Generation Z.
Generation Z.
Okay.
Because you know, I'm Gen Z, and like, yeah, I do find that music, if it's not constantly changing, it's not produced in a certain way, does kind of not capture my attention because of like Spotify and like the way we consume music digitally. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Because how much we can hear the same songs again and again
yeah,
and again.
exactly.
Everyone already done it, and our job is to grab the attention.
Mm.
Because whatever is being done, it's being done. You know, if now you're gonna, I don't know, let's say, I had operation in my knee 2 years ago, and everything was very sensitive. So every time I touched my leg, it was so sensitive that it was painful sensitive. It was so uncomfortable, but I had to touch myself so it would be less sensitive. And I think this is also
Yeah.
what happens culturally with music.
Yes.
Because, you know, Van Halen came, or Led Zeppelin came, or Deep Purple, or Elvis, or
Yeah.
the Beatles. But today they're not so edgy as they used to be.
Not at all.
So we got really
Not at all.
desensitized as
Yeah.
humans about what our attention seems to be
Yeah.
attracted to.
I mean, I'm making hyperpop these days, which is like the most attention grabby ADHD music. But I can't stop. I love making hyperpop because it's so fun to just be like, oh, like this is. It's almost punk. I feel like, yeah, it's
What
edgy.
we heard is not hyperpop.
No, that's.
How would you call it?
I'd call that like experimental. I'd almost call it experimental jazz because it has a jazz chord progression. But like generally my music gets classified as ethereal.
Ethereal.
Yeah.
With spacious kind of vibe.
Spacey, like I guess a little like angelic, a little bit otherworldly. Yeah. It's not a very grounded sound. No. I definitely make music that makes you dissociate out of the moment, I think. Yeah. Which is how I exist most of the time.
Out of the moment.
I'm definitely like 90% of the time I'm dissociated.
What does it mean, that you don't see yourself in the actual present moment?
Yeah, it's almost like I'm watching my life happen on a TV screen as I'm living it.
And how does it affect the way you live your life or your lifestyle? Or how does it differ from other people?
Probably. I mean, I think it just means that I I think generally, actually, the way it translates is I am less fearful than other people because it doesn't feel as real to me.
So you just go with that.
I just go with it, yeah.
And if it's something difficult, you just tell yourself it's only a movie?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's just a simulation, baby.
And what do you tell to yourself? If something gets really hard and very uncomfortable, how do you go over it? Because you talk with yourself before you even decide to execute something.
Yeah.
And this talk is very interesting, what's going on there.
Well, I mean, it's a good question because where I'm currently at in my life is like one of these points where I'm constantly talking to myself, constantly talking myself through life. Being in Berlin, like, oh, it's okay. You can go to the Rewe. What's it called? The Rewe. You can go to the Kaufland. The checkout chick's scary, but she's not going to hurt you.
She only speaks German.
She only speaks German and she throws the groceries at you so quickly. What is with that in Germany?
Yeah, it's very stressful at
It's
moments.
so stressful going to Aldi. Yeah.
And if you're not prepared with your cash to pay, once you already put all the stuff in the bag.
And then they give you the death stare. But yeah, I mean, it's true. Like, okay, I'm confronted with bigger life challenges than this. But honestly, the things that are most challenging for me are those moments that like accumulate on a daily basis of like minor stresses that build up. So you become stressed physically. And then, you know, that changes your ability to like rationally problem solve and like makes you flip out. So, I mean, that's what I'm faced with at the moment. The problem of cumulative stress of existing is my biggest challenge at the moment.
I think with age, it just gets more and more stressful.
Oh, God.
I don't know, maybe it's the body that gets old, but I feel myself, I need to stretch myself more in order to be in a status quo.
I also think that our society is too demanding of us.
Yeah,
I think
this is true.
Yeah, it's too demanding. Like, I mean, you can take whatever lens you take. I'm anti-capitalist, so I blame capitalism. But
we can't blame capitalism while we have those beautiful microphones. And we're using it.
I mean, look, I'm just like, I'm almost making a joke. Like, you can blame whatever it is that you blame, but like, yeah, life is stressful.
Life is stressful.
And it shouldn't be this stressful. No.
Yeah, there are many stuff to be blamed, but I think that the biggest blame we need to point at ourselves, basically. Because it doesn't matter if the government is shit. It doesn't matter if the finance statue is shit. Basically, we are the one who will get fucked. Yes. And no one cares about that we are fucked.
Yeah.
No one cares if I have enough money in the end of the month or not.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who cares. Even my parents, they really support me if I need. And they're very supportive. But, you know, in the end, it's my responsibility. And I cannot blame inflation. I cannot blame COVID. I need to find my way through it.
Yeah, I think you can. I mean, I agree with you. Part of me wants to blame the external more, but I think the foundational value that I have as a human being is like looking inwards for happiness. Like, you know, I think that's what is like it's who I am, is someone who can be happy from the inside. And I think we should all strive as humans to like fulfill our own needs first, like, you know.
Yeah, I wish it was that easy.
I mean, yeah, it's not that easy.
There's so many forces that are pulling and pushing.
But you have to be able to like stay calm in the chaos. Like, you have to be able to be level-headed in the storm and enjoy those moments that are chaotic. And I mean, if I didn't have my artistic practice, I would not be able to do that. Like, it is entirely like I'm able to go through life and experience all the stress because I know at the very least I will get such a good song out of it.
Yeah.
And
I
will be
completely
able
know
to,
what you're talking about.
I will be able to revel in the feeling of like creating this piece that articulates how I feel. And even if no one else likes it, it's like I fulfilled my own need, I think.
Yeah, it's a great therapy to do music.
I actually think I may want to get into music therapy down the line, become a music therapist.
Would you say that artists who facilitate big concerts, would you call them therapy facilitators?
Absolutely.
It can be very spiritual in some concerts.
I think rave therapy is really underrated. Rave therapy. Like, there's problems with raving. Like, you don't want to take too many drugs. You don't want to be up all night. But you do feel connected to your fellow human in a rave. And I think often people lack that feeling. And that's why.
The connection.
Yeah. And that's why, and same with a concert, connected to your fellow human. That can do a lot for your mental health.
Yeah, we're all about connections in the end. We are social creatures.
Yes, 100%.
Even though it changes between people, it's not black and white, I would say. But it's very important. Me, myself, I'm an introvert.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. So it's fun, because I have a podcast and I talk with a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I love my time alone with myself. I really love it. I feel if I talk with too many people and I spend a lot of time not with myself, then I feel that I need to charge myself with myself. Like there is no other way I can charge myself.
Yeah.
Some people get charged
with other people.
Yes, but for me it's the opposite.
Yeah,
and I think it also depends on the timing. Sometimes I go to my cave and I don't leave it for months.
Oh wow, you are really introverted. Yeah. For me, I've always identified myself as an extrovert because I always thought that I charged my batteries from other people, but I realized coming here that's not the case entirely. Like maybe it's like language barriers and cultural barriers and stuff, but it's super draining to exist outwardly here. So I need that alone time these days. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I also need it for integration, because sometimes my life can be very intense.
Yeah.
Especially if I meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I'm very lucky to say that I'm surrounding myself with really talented people. And what I enjoy about being surrounded by talented people is their mindset. And just to talk with them, it can inspire me so much. And I want to have this time alone where I can integrate it.
What's different about the mindset of talented people?
All right. So with the beginning, talented people are not people who are born with a gift. I believe people with talent are people that are hardworking people who are chasing something. And they don't mind putting their lifestyle into that because this is what really excites them.
Yeah. I generally agree. Yeah.
Of course, there are the gifts that you have, like, I don't know, your physical body.
Yeah.
If you're Michael Jordan,
you're
Michael Jordan and you're tall, and then you have the mindset on top of it, so then you can have it.
And some people's, like, neurons fire, like, differently, and they get dopamine hits from doing certain activities, which means they're more likely to repeat doing that task over and over and get good at it.
Yeah.
And I'd call that a kind of talent in a way, like,
But it gets you until a certain point, right?
Yeah.
And then it's all about you basically just practicing or learning more. And when someone reaching a level, when they're so good at what they're doing, I think their mindset is all over. It's not just on doing one thing really, really good. They usually do a lot of things really good.
Yeah.
Or maybe not sometimes. And it's also good because...
I think it's true. I really do. Yeah.
Yeah, those kind of people I like to surround myself with.
Me too.
And to be with them, it's
I
inspiring.
like those people too. Yeah.
Yeah, the mindset is everything. And when I'm listening to your productions and the complexity... By the way, did you make everything by yourself?
Everything.
It's only you?
It's just me.
This is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, on that kimchi fried rice track, I had... at the beginning, a collaborator, but she very quickly, that collaboration very quickly disintegrated. So she basically she chose what notes to play on the bass, and that is a sample of her playing drums. But apart from that, it's all me. Yeah. Yeah,
the complexity, it tells me that there is a lot of thought and a lot of planning, like what do you want it to be? And you try, and probably it sounded really bad in the beginning, but you refined it more and more and more until you got the final result. And this is what I really, really appreciate about people who actually do those kind of little stuff that no one else wants to do. To go and edit the little things and to make it sure that it's panning here.
I
and
love that stuff.
Yeah,
that's what
and you
gets
feel
me
it, right?
off.
If it's too much panning, it's like no,
Yeah,
a bit
no,
little,
little
and
less.
you must find the sweet spot, and only there it's the right.
I love that. I think I'm neurodivergent. Yeah, I think I'm on the autism spectrum.
I think all of us.
Well,
in a way, some more, some less.
Yeah, if you want to think about it like that, but I think
You have more.
I think I have more. because I love that stuff. And it's in a way where I feel like it's, yeah, it's not normal.
Yeah, in what way you think it's exceeding the normal levels of being on the details?
Even talking about it gives me just such a huge dopamine hit.
Yeah, me too. I really enjoy this.
I like want to do it right now. Yeah, I just want to edit those samples right now. Yeah.
If anyone needs an editor,
Yeah,
you have
well,
passionate editor.
Actually, that's what I do as a side hustle is I produce for other people. And I haven't been able to make any money at the moment in Berlin because no one knows who I am, which is fine. I mean, I'm fine with that freedom. But like, if you're listening to this podcast, yeah, seriously hit me up.
Yes, you can find all of the social media of Sandriina. Where everywhere it will be on Spotify probably, or Apple Music, Apple Podcast, or on YouTube as well. Finally, I got everything on YouTube. YouTube is nice.
YouTube is good.
YouTube pays really nice for the ads. Do you know that? They pay like between $6 and $3 for 1,000 plays.
Oh, cool! I need to get on that.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I don't have that many views on my YouTube videos. I have 2 music videos that I put up on YouTube. Maybe I could make $6 off them.
Maybe. Mm-hmm. Slowly.
Yeah.
How do you approach marketing and promotion stuff? Is it something
Good
that you're
question.
into that? Or you just ignore it somehow and you hope that someone will like your music and will put the effort?
I would never neglect the duty of marketing and promoting my own music because I put too much effort into my own music and I love my own music too much to just release it and then hope for the best. Like at this stage, I'm trying to become an artist, like that, you know, I can survive off being an artist, doing what I like. And, you know, unfortunately, really, it is unfortunate that can't exist without an online presence and, you know, consistent social media posting and consistent networking, consistent this and that. And it is fatiguing. And I am at the stage where I need a manager, I think. Because to do it all myself is like, it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
But I enjoy actually Instagram and I think there's like a creativeness in posting on Instagram. And I think it shouldn't become a burden. Like the minute it becomes too much of a burden, you're doing it wrong. And I think your audience reads it. And I think your post quality decreases. So like I only post on Instagram when I'm really like feeling like it and I'm aware that I haven't done it in a couple days. But I do think that it is bad for my mental health accumulatively. Like I am addicted to the dopamine of the app and like, you know.
You can't escape from it. No one can.
No, I'm addicted to seeing the number of followers increase and like the number of likes increase. So, but as an artist, like I don't have a choice really, I think. Like I respect artists that don't give a fuck. I really respect that. Like DJ Helena Hauf, I don't know if you know her. She's from Hamburg. She's so friggin' cool. But no social media presence and like her shows are booked out like crazy and she only DJs vinyl and stuff. And like lots of other artists are like that. But for me personally, the sphere I'm existing in, hyperpop world, my audience is Gen Z. I have to be on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you think a manager can help with?
Manager can help with the outreach and partnerships aspect of it. So like booking me shows, getting me gigs like maybe this podcast, for instance, collaborations with other artists, collaborations with sponsors and brands and stuff like this. Like if you don't have a manager, all of that pressure is on you as the artist, as well as the pressure to create.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a big enough pressure in itself.
And creative energy doesn't go so well when there is a lot of pressure.
Exactly, yeah. But I mean, I've managed this far to not have a manager. But I have had an offer from someone, but it's Melbourne. So I'm in Berlin.
Does it matter?
I think it matters.
Yeah, if you want someone to book your concerts.
Yeah.
And maybe if you want to get
I
in
think
the
it really
local scene.
matters. Yeah.
Yeah, this is true.
But yeah, I'm kind of willing to just, with the manager stuff, like I'm willing to wait for that. I think the right one will come.
Yeah, you feel
Yeah.
it. There is good
Yeah.
harmony between both of you.
Yeah.
It's like a relationship.
It is a relationship. And, you know, I'm trusting this person with my life's work. Like, these are my babies. My music is my baby. Like, I wouldn't just, like, let anyone help me with that. Yeah, has to be the right person.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's difficult to find the right people.
Yeah, but
Or to find good people who are willing to really put your benefits there.
I think I'm a bit of a, do they call it a Lockean?
Damn, you have so many words that I have no clue what they mean. I don't know
like
if it's
Hobbes.
Australian kind of way to say stuff.
No,
or maybe
probably.
I'm too old.
No, it's probably an Australian
Yeah,
thing.
all right.
I realize how Australian I truly am being here. But yeah, no, I think I'm, you know, the Hobbes and Locke, it's like Thomas Hobbes was like the guy who basically believes that humans are inherently evil. And then I forget his first name, but this Locke dude is like, oh no, humans are like inherently good people, morally good. And I think I'm more in although it's simple, overly simple, I think I'm more of the belief that humans are good. I think there's a lot of good people. I think that systems force us to do things that we don't want to do and we become worse versions of ourselves. But I think deep down we're good.
Yeah, deep down
Yes.
we're good. And I think every action that anyone is taking any time, it's what will make them feel the best in this moment. No one does something because they will feel bad. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Even if someone is doing something bad for other person because it will relieve some pain they have inside of them. So whatever we are doing, we do it in order to make us feel better. But to find good people, I mean, people that, you know, if you want to have a band right now, you can find a guitarist, you can find a bass player, you can find a drummer.
But you won't always align.
Yeah, they need to practice the songs. You know, you need
Yeah.
to trust them that in the moment of truth, they will work hard, they will provide what they need to provide, and even beyond. And that's the only way that someone can be successful, by surrounding ourselves with those kind of people.
Yeah.
I remember me, when I had some bands back then, so some of the people who played, they did not took it so seriously, even though they were amazing people and they were good friends until today. But they were not good to play music because they did not practice.
Yeah, I've definitely had some.
Yeah, the mindset of them, that's the only
Yeah.
thing that matters, the mindset.
Yeah. Bands are a really hard thing, actually. Like, bands are entirely dependent on interpersonal dynamics, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even about the skill level of the musicians. Like, you know, it helps.
It's also about that.
Yes, but I think that if willingness to learn and positive attitude supersedes skill level.
For sure.
Yeah.
I agree about this
Yeah.
completely. And everyone can be anything, however
Yeah.
they want. They can have any life they want to have. And this is what we talked about the planning. Because then if you think yourself, where can I be in the most wildest fantasy that I can imagine? And you actually start to plan it, you realize it might not be as expensive or as hard as it might appear in our fantasy.
Yeah, I mean,
But we don't know it because we never planned.
that's true. I do feel like in art, though, there's a lot of like kind of missing pieces. Like, yeah, if I want to get from A to B, I kind of have to make a couple leaps and bounds to get there. And I don't necessarily know what happens in between A and B.
Yeah, that's
like,
the magic.
Yeah, it's a little bit more leap of faith as an artist. Like,
Yeah.
you can't just be like, oh, I'll go to university, I'll get a degree, I will get hired by a startup company, I will work my way to a CEO position, like you can in some other careers. Yeah.
It's also a way, yeah. If you think
Yeah.
about it music-wise, so you came to Berlin. So you have two options. One option is just to keep what you're doing. And the second option is to keep what you're doing, but find ways that you can do more, either to delegate it to other people, to find a manager, to find some
Yeah.
kind of team, someone maybe who take photos, someone takes videos.
Yeah.
So those kind of things, just to push through that. And if you plan that and you see that you need those people and you already put them in your planning, then there is more chances that you will arrive at being this artist that you dream to be of, or the CEO, for example.
The CEO.
It's possible to
The
be
CEO
CEO
of art.
Yeah, the CEO of Berlin Art.
The CEO of Berlin.
The CEO of Berlin. Is it the mayor of Berlin who is the CEO? Is there a
Maybe.
CEO? It must be a CEO. Is it the police? The CEO?
Oh, that's conspiratorial. I think
Yeah.
you better watch what you're saying, just in case.
I'm so angry at the authorities here in Germany.
Yeah.
For everyone who listens, no matter what they send you and accuse you, reply within the first 2 weeks that you did not do it.
Yeah.
First thing, and then you see what they really want from you. Because once you don't do that, they, no matter what case is that, they just close it and you cannot do appeal.
These
And-
are the inside tips.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's really, really crazy.
ACAB.
Something like that. It's the biggest mafia.
I have noticed. I mean, I don't want to get too much into it.
Yeah, I'm angry at them, but we will
Yeah.
stop here.
Yeah, we will stop here. I have noticed some police dynamics. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't mix music against the authority. We make music for love and for aerial
No, I
feelings
mean,
and sensations.
we make music to say fuck the police as well.
Yeah, you say it in your songs?
Not in my songs, but I mean, I can definitely quote a song that literally is called Fuck the Police. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Just a disclaimer for any officials from the Deutsche government listening, that is not actually my personal belief. And I very much appreciate the safety and authority that police provide me in my daily life. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
For those who do their
Please
job.
give me my Anmeldung. Please. Please give me my Anmeldung. Thank you.
Yeah, for those who do their job, good job. For
Good.
those who don't, go fuck yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, go fuck yourself.
Love that.
Yeah. All right. So how can people find you, or more to say, if you want to collaborate with other people?
Yeah.
What is your wishes for those who listen?
Well, yeah, please, first of all, if you want to check out my music, you can find it on all of the platforms. I think that the most active place that I am is Instagram. So if you want to keep following my journey, please follow me on Instagram. It's at Sandriina with 2 I's .music. And you also feel free to send me a message if you're interested in learning music production. I'm tutoring music production at the moment, and I only charge 20 euros an hour. So at this stage, so it's pretty affordable. And if it's something you're thinking about getting into, I strongly encourage you to reach out to me. Also, if you want to collaborate, yeah, just hit me up.
Yeah.
Sandriina Music on Instagram. Yep.
And it comes to my head that this is how you sent me a message.
It
You
is.
sent me a message by that you saw that I liked your post. Or something like that.
I think I can't remember, but
But you do that, right? You go for people who like in your post and you send them a message?
I mean, I'm new in Berlin, so I don't know who's who. So if someone likes my post, I'm like, oh, there's somebody. Yeah.
This is really good. This is amazing that you did that. Because
yeah.
this is the connection that we had.
Yeah.
And you were spontaneous enough to come here as well in
Yeah.
short notice. And
Yeah.
here we are having a podcast.
Yeah, and it's so much fun. I love talking.
Yeah, we can talk more if you want. There is plenty of time.
Yeah.
If there is something else you want to share, maybe we squeezed all the lemons already.
I feel like I've squeezed most of my lemons. I wouldn't want to overindulge.
All right.
Yeah.
So we stop it here.
We stop it here.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Who listened all the way. Please leave a comment somewhere, either my Instagram or Sandriina's Instagram. Just let us know that you were here.
Please.
Hell yes.
All right. Tschüss.